Here's a strategy for binary options that does not require a great deal of prior knowledge or trading experience. All you will need are just two simple indicators, and I will show you the exact settings for these indicators in this video. With this method, we will have two very safe entry points. The first entry point is not quite as safe as the second, but it is still effective. This way, you will be able to figure out which method works best for you. So get comfortable and let's get right into the video to see how much we can potentially earn. Look, we're starting our video with what can be considered a rather risky entry point, but let's go with it for now. Next, I'll show you some safe entry points that are proven to work and can deliver approximately 90% winning trades. The entry point that I am about to show you right now typically yields about 60 to 80% winning trades, depending on the specific market situation at the time. The other entry points, which I will discuss later, will consistently bring in around 90% winning trades. Look, here we had a crossover has occurred on our stochastic oscillator with the green line position on top. At this moment, we're roughly situated in the middle of our indicator's range, plus the zigzag pattern is currently in an upward movement, so for us, this is now considered a buy entry point. Accordingly, I proceed to open my trade for a duration of 1 minute, and all that's left to do is simply wait for the profit to come in. Let's watch together what happens in just about 5 seconds and see exactly how much I can make on this trade. The trade closes in profit and brings me a total of $430 in profit. So as you clearly saw throughout the entire movement of this particular trade, the price stayed pretty much right near our original entry point. It was actually quite risky. Now let me move to a much safer entry point. Next, we'll go over all the indicator settings in detail, all the platform settings, and also discuss both safe and unsafe situations that can occur in the market. Here's an example of a safe trade on Utessera. Look, we had a crossover just like in the previous trade, but the only difference was that this crossover happened in the lower zone. Accordingly, from the lower zone, we have very safe buy trades, and from the upper zone, we have safe sell trades. That's why when I saw the green line cross the red one, for me, that was already a signal to buy. And if this crossover happens near the 80 zone at the top or near the 20 zone at the bottom, then we do not pay attention to it at all and simply move on. Or zigzag. In other words, we only trade based on the stochastic. But again, these are just two specific situations. If we have a crossover where the red line is on top and crosses the green one, then this situation should be in the upper zone. If, on the contrary, the green line crosses, like here, then we should be near the value of 20. These are the two entry points that will be the safest, but there will be very few of them. I just scrolled through all the currency pairs. I even went to the OTC market and still didn't find such an example right away. So these are safe entry points, but they will be in the minority. Now let's move on to the settings of these indicators, as well as all the other entry points. But I also want to remind you, before we move on to our entry points and indicator settings, that you'll find more educational content in our Telegram channel. If you want to develop together with us, all you need to do is follow the link in the description and accordingly find out what we share and what we do, because we really provide a lot. What content? All you need to do is just follow the link in the description and join us. There you'll find ready-made strategies, ready-to-use indicators, and also 2 free signals a day. In other words, it's the perfect setup for beginners. The link is waiting for you in the description. Be sure to join and start trading with us. Now let's move on. Good afternoon. Regarding the settings, we need to add the super trend and the stochastic oscillator. Be careful because we actually have 3 oscillators and we need this specific stochastic oscillator. We add it, and now we need to configure these 2 indicators. Let's go to the zigzag settings. Set the first value to 1 and the second and third values to 20. As for the style, we don't change anything, but we can set the line thickness to 2 pixels. Next, for the stochastic oscillator, set the first value to 15 and the second and third to 5. We don't change the moving average type. In the style settings, set the K period to green and 2 pixels thick, and the D period to red, also 2 pixels thick. Next, we don't change anything and just click Save. The indicators are now configured. Now we're ready to work. But first, we need to set up the platform. Of course, we'll have universal settings for both the DC market and regular financial markets. Let's choose regular Japanese candlesticks. You can set it to 15 seconds. Showing the timer will just make it easier to track the candles. Since a new candle often brings a crossover, I recommend clicking this button. And when we open trades, they'll only be for 1 minute. Not 1.5, not 2, not 3, just 1 minute. These settings will only work with this strategy for 1-minute trades. Let's look at another example. The green line is on top at this moment, right here. We kind of had a crossover, but the zigzag indicator shows that we're moving down, so it's not advisable to trade in this kind of situation. Even though a new line has just appeared and we could enter from here, I'm not confident about this trade. So if you see a situation like this where you're not sure, and we also have a sharp impulse happening, it's better to skip it. In other words, don't take unnecessary risks. But from here, you can confidently open a sell trade. We have the euro dollar, and it shows us that there's a crossover here. The red line is above the green one, so we understand that we can open a sell trade. We don't pay attention to the zigzag, especially if we even add some technical analysis. We can see there was an impulsive upward movement, and now the price should make a correction. So let's watch me. I'm curious to see how many points this trade will bring me. So far, the movement isn't very big, which is strange. This is the UTC market, and usually the movement here is more than 15, sometimes even 30 points. An excellent trade brings me a total of $506 in profit. And as you can see, this really works. When the crossover is on top, we can confidently open trades without hesitation. We only sell if the red line is crossed accordingly, following the rules, and if the green line crosses the red line from below, then we open buy trades, as per our strategy. I hope that makes sense and is clear to you. And finally, I want to remind you that we use advanced, sophisticated strategies in our trading approach. Right now, you can see the impressive results from our exclusive private club. We trade news, we trade a lot of different things that most beginners don't even know you can make money on, which is quite surprising. And you can see the positive feedback from our members who work with us, who earn money with us, have stable, consistent profits, and are genuinely happy with the results they achieve. If you want to get the same stable results and join us, all you need to do is message our managers. You'll find the link in the description or in the pinned comment. Just let them know you want to become an elite member. Send that phrase and you'll get access to our private channel where you can work with us, trade on the news, and earn money every day on currency pairs without any analysis, just by using the experience of our traders. So I'll leave the link to our managers in the description, as well as the link to our Telegram channel, of course. Let me know in the comments what you think about this strategy, what your thoughts are, and how you feel about it. I've shown you the setups and the entry points, so now that's left is for you to put it into practice and repeat the results. I'm sharing this strategy with you absolutely free, so please support the channel by subscribing. And it would be great if you could rate the video in the comments. See you in the next video, everyone. This was the AIT team. See you soon.